This video was sponsored by BlueStacks, a free Android emulator that you can use to play Azur Lane and other games on Google Play on your PC instead. If you're interested, you can check it out in the pinned comment or the description below. Hello guys, I'm Ander or FBI BeenUp from the Lexington server, and today we're going to be going over every single different variety of research project available in Azur Lane. This guide will tell you the differences between each letter of project, as well as which one is the best for your situation. I will be separating this video into two categories, one being the best projects for the most PR blueprints, and the other being the best projects for those who are low on resources or are just looking to go and refresh the 5 research options that they were given. Along with this, there will be a quick summary for the end of the video so that people can use this as reference in the future. With that being said, let's get started. For those that are brand new to the game, and you're wondering what is a research project is similar to the commissions tab that you can find right here. Now, a research project is granted more complicated, and unlike commissions, there are requirements for fulfilling them. You can access the research projects once you unlock the lab tab right here. Once you click that, you can go into the Research Academy. And from here, you will be greeted with an interface with 5 different projects right here to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you can get all sorts of cool stuff and good rewards from priority research, including prototype gun blueprints, and most importantly, stuff like priority ship blueprints. Now it is generally always good to go and have one of these active at all times to maximize your rewards, and generally the higher rarity projects will yield more rewards. So the best would be rainbow, then gold, then purple, and then blue. However, there are times where the blue version is the best, such as the Q and the G one. Now, in the bottom right, there are 2 buttons you can find. The one that says Research PR2 Focus is an interchangeable between 3 different modes. You can either set it to PR2 Focus, No Focus, or PR1 Focus. If you set the button to either PR2 Focus or PR1 Focus, there will be a higher chance for that project of that certain priority to appear. So for instance, I set it to PR2 Focus, so you can see that there is a 2 right here, a 2 right here, and a 2 right here. So this is priority 2 stuff, and then there's a 1 and a 1, so this is priority 1 stuff. Now the other button that says Refresh will re-roll your projects in case you don't like any of these 5 options. You can do this once a day, and since I already refreshed today, this option is grayed out for me. It will reset at midnight so that you can do it once more in the next day. Now I will be talking about certain projects later on that you can do if you want to go and refresh your options, but have already used this refresh button. Now that you know the basics of the priority research tab, let's get into the individual project letters and find out which one is the best for you. Now, before we move on into any of the 2 categories, I've got one project that I just don't recommend anyone to do, and that one type of project that doesn't really have any strong point at all is Project B. Now, the project itself takes a long 4 hours, no matter the rarity, so it doesn't really save time, and it also has the most annoying requirement, which is to go and complete a certain amount of stages, a certain amount of times, on a certain chapter. So this is the most time-consuming and strenuous activity that you can do. The only time you should ever consider doing this B research is if the gold version pops up, as it has relatively good rewards. However, this would mean that you'd have to clear 3 or 4 stages on chapter 11, 12, or 13, which might be a lot of work. Now, due to how much work this is just to go and complete for a simple research project, I'm just going to go and leave Project B on the side and not include it in any of the 2 categories. Now with all that B issue stuff out of the way, let's go and move on to the first category, which will be discussing which are the best projects for those who have sufficient resources like cubes and coins, and are willing to spend those cubes and coins on PR research in order to get the most amount of PR blueprints the fastest. The best for this would be Project H. Now, I don't have it right now on my screen, so I will be showing a picture probably right now. Now, the best project that you can do in order to get PR blueprints the fastest is going to be the H series. takes a super short amount of time compared to the other commissions with similar rarity, and it gives a very nice amount of blueprints for that time. There is a special gold version of Project H that only takes 30 minutes, and it costs only 8,000 gold and 3 wisdom cubes. Personally, if it does show up, I would probably do it due to the high reward and the super low amount of time that it takes. Now of course the one downside with doing the H projects is that of course, they cost wisdom cubes. For most people, including me, it is better to spend your precious cubes that you probably don't have that many of on the gacha instead of PR research. You should only be doing Project H when you have a ton, and I mean like 100, 200 some wisdom cubes sitting around and you don't have anything to use them on, or if you just really want to go and finish up a PR ship's blueprints the fastest. Now the next best project type for those who want PR blueprints would be Project D. For most people, Project D will most likely be your go-to project of choice. After all, it only costs gold, which is relatively much easier to come by than wisdom cubes, and it also has a guaranteed chance to drop at least one blueprint for that particular ship shown. For instance, this one has Ibuki shown, and it will guarantee at least one Ibuki blueprint, so that's very good. The blue one version of the D project is very good. You should basically always be doing that if you see it. Now the gold one is better than that one, and the purple one is debatably bad. This is because the blue one basically usually has the same amount of rewards than the purple one, but it costs a heck of a lot more for purple, and it also has more time. Now, just like the H projects, it also has a special 30-minute version that can come out in either gold or rainbow rarity. They cost 5,000 gold and 5 wisdom cubes, and you should definitely be doing them when they appear. Project D will most likely be your most used project when you want to get PR blueprints. Now the last PR ship blueprint thing that is also very nice is Project G. However, there's a little bit of a caveat here, because Project G in all regards is worse than Project D. They both cost gold, except for the difference that G has a faster time, but it does not have that guaranteed PR ship blueprint that D has. This means that the only version that is worth doing out of Project G is the blue version that is 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is because it is an hour faster than the blue version of Project D. So if you see the 1 hour 30 Project G, it is always good to do it, but if you see any other version of Project G, such as the blue 2 hour 31 or the purple version of G, do not do it. It is a waste and bad use of your gold. Because Project G has nothing really going for it, it has nothing guaranteed. The only difference is that the one version of it is faster than the blue Project D version. Now onto the second category, the best projects to do when you need to refresh your options or if you just have no more coins or cubes to do for research. Here are them. Now the first that I'd like to mention is Project C. Project C is the best to do when you have no resources, because why? Well, it actually has no requirements, it literally costs nothing to go and start and finish, and it also has pretty good rewards. Now the only downside is that with each rarity, it actually takes a longer time compared to the other projects, but it is free, so you can't really complain. So if you have nothing to do, or just don't feel like doing or spending anything for PR research, Project C is always a good option for you. Now let's say you're in the situation where the 5 options given to you are all not to your liking, and you have also used your daily refresh already. The next best thing you can do is do one of these 3 projects that I'm going to list right now. The best would be Project Q, especially the blue 1 hour version, because it costs equipment parts, and usually those are very plentiful to come by. The blue one will only ask for a couple of gray or blue parts, which you should have plenty of, and after that, hopefully you're doing the 1 hour version because that is the good one. You can go and get a brand new refresh and 5 new choices to go and choose from. It's very good. However, that's the only good way to go and use it because Project Q otherwise has really bad rewards, so I would not recommend doing it for anything other than just getting that quick refresh. Now the second best for the refresh scenario will go to Project E. Project E requires you to scrap some equipment, which is very easy to do. You can just grab a couple new ships and scrap their equipment in order to do it very quickly. It's pretty fast as well, the second fastest compared to the 1 hour Project Q. The blue Project E is only 2 hours. So it also has mediocre rewards, so don't expect too much. The only purpose for these is to go and get that refresh so that you can get the good rewards from the better projects. It does take longer than Project Q, so if you do want to refresh, try and look for Project Q first and then Project E. Now, in second to last place, right before Project B, is Project T. Project T is the last option for the refresh category, and it requires you to complete commissions. Why is it worse than Q and E, you might ask? Well, first of all, completing commissions can take a longer time than what the actual project itself is going to take, and it also costs 3 hours for the blue version, compared to Project Q's 1 hour and Project E's 2 hours. So this is actually the longest in these 3, and it also has mediocre rewards. So use this only as your very last option, because basically everything else is better than it. Now, as promised, here is a short summary of all the projects. So, when you do have all the resources, the fastest and best option for the most amount of PR blueprints and the littlest amount of time will be Project H, but it does cost Wisdom Cubes, so only do that if you do have a ton of Wisdom Cubes stockpiled up. Overall, the best is going to be Project D, because it does have that guaranteed PR blueprint and it costs gold. Now, the OK version is going to be the 1 hour 30 blue version of Project G, as it also costs gold, and it has pretty good rewards, but it does not have that guaranteed PR blueprint that Project D has. If you are low on gold or cubes, the free version is going to be Project C. It literally costs nothing, it's got pretty good rewards, but it does take a longer time for its given rarity. Now, if you do need a refresh, if you don't have any of these other options, you can rely on Projects Q, E, and T in that order. The best is going to be the blue 1 hour Project Q version, then the Project E at 2 hours, and then finally Project T is going to be good if you have only commissions completed already, at 4 hours. They all have pretty bad rewards, so only use them if you have none of the other good options available to you. With that summary done, that will conclude my research project guide. As always, if you found this information helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribing. Don't forget to press that notification bell for my future uploads as well. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions that need to be answered, and I'll try my best to reply. If you're interested, you can always join my Discord server if you need advice or a place to relax. That'll be all for this video, so I hope you guys will have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!